interaction diagrams, packages, and collaboration. Introduction. We will discuss the following topics in this chapter: sequence diagrams, collaboration diagram, comparing sequence and collaboration diagram, when to use interaction diagrams, packages, collaborations, when to use package diagram and collaboration. Sequence diagram. Interaction diagrams describe how group of objects collaborate in some behavior. They are model. An object is shown as a box at the top of a dashed vertical line within a sequence diagram. This vertical line is called the object's lifeline and represents the object's life during the interaction. Each message is represented by an arrow between the lifelines of two objects. Occurrence of the message order is indicated top to bottom on the page. Each message is labeled at minimum with the message name. Self-call. A message that an object sends to itself by sending the message arrow goes back to the same lifeline. When an object is active, include an activation box to show. Condition indicates when a message is sent only if a condition is true. The iteration marker shows that a message is sent many times to multiple receiver objects, as would happen when you are iterating over a collection. Return indicates only a return from a message but not a new message. Sequence diagrams are also valuable for concurrent process. When a transaction is created, it creates a transaction coordinator to coordinate the checking of the transaction. In turn, coordinator creates a number of transaction checker objects, each of which is responsible for a particular check. Since each checker is called asynchronously and proceeds in parallel, this process would make it easy to add different checking processes. When a transaction checker completes, it gives notification to the transaction coordinator. The coordinator looks to see whether all the checkers call back. If they have not, the coordinator does nothing. If they have, and if all of them are successful, the coordinator notifies the transaction that all is well. A half arrow heads indicate an asynchronous message. As an asynchronous message does not block the caller, it can carry on with its own processing. An asynchronous message can do one of the following three things: create a new thread, in which case links to the top of an activation; create a new object; communicate with a thread that is already running. Object deletion is shown with a logX. Collaboration diagram. Second form of the interaction diagram, the collaboration diagram. The example objects are shown as icons. Arrows indicate the messages sent within the given use case. The sequence is indicated by numbering the messages. Spatial layout allows you to show how the objects are linked together. You can use one of several numbering schemes for collaboration diagrams. Comparing sequence and collaboration diagrams. Sequence diagram. It helps to see the order in which things occur. Collaboration diagram. Use the layout to indicate how objects are statically connected. Both are simple. You can easily see the messages by looking at the diagram. The technique begins to break down once you try to represent something other than a single sequential process without much conditional or looping behavior. The technique begins to break down. They can be awkward to use when exploring alternatives. Trying out alternatives leads to too much rubbing out and redrawing. When to use interaction diagram. At the time of looking at the behavior of several objects within a single use case, while good at showing collaborations among the objects. Not so good at a precise definition of the behavior. To look at the behavior of a single object across many use cases, use a state diagram. To look at behavior across many use cases or many threads, consider an activity diagram. Packages. The idea of a package can be applied to any model element, not just classes. Package diagram. Diagram that shows packages of classes and the dependencies among them. A dependency exists between two elements if changes to the definition of one element may cause changes to the other. With classes, dependencies exist for various reasons. One class sends a message to another. One class has another as part of its data. One class mentions another as a parameter to an operation. If a class changes its interface, any message it sends may no longer be valid. The UML has many varieties of dependency, each with particular semantics and stereotypes. Any dependency exists between any two classes in the packages leads to a dependency between two packages exist. The dependencies are intransitives with packages. A transitive dependency makes it difficult to limit the scope of changes with the compilation. Package diagrams are a key tool in maintaining control over a system's overall structure. Collaborations. Besides containing classes, a package can contain collaborations. Collaboration is a name given to the interaction between two or more classes. Collaboration can be elaborated with more than one interaction diagram, but each diagram shows a different path. It can also add a class diagram to show the classes that participate in the collaboration. Use them to show common behavior across packages. Show those aspects of the classes that are relevant. Interaction diagrams show how they work. Most of the same collaboration is used by different classes in the system. Each time, the basic way the classes work is the same, but classes and operations are named differently, and there may be minor differences in the implementation. You can illustrate this by parameterizing the collaboration. First, you draw a diagram which shows the various roles that various objects play in the collaboration. When to use package diagrams and the collaboration. Packages are an important tool for large projects. Use packages whenever a class diagram encompasses the whole system, which is no longer legible on a single letter size or A4 sheet of paper. Packages are particularly useful for testing. Each package should have one or more test classes that test the behavior of the package. Collaborations are useful for referring a particular interaction. Parameterized collaborations are useful when you have several as well as similar collaborations in your